Well, there's Kit getting a bite of grass. We are in Mullinville, Kansas. And I can't wait to show you what brought me here. Can you see it yet? Look at this. Mullinville, self-anointed elitist bourgeois. This guy has made all these metal sculptures. Hey Kit, come on. Okay, he's very busily eating grass. I don't think he's feeling well because at one point he jumped off the seat. Well, he whimpered and then jumped off the seat and got no idea what his issue is. So we're going to give him a minute to do his thing. Are we ready? Okay, cross the road. Well, it says open. Mandy, Saturday, 7 April 2012. Excuse me. Come on in here with me. Look at all the pretty flowers. Pretty, pretty flowers. Pretty flowers. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 4. Visitor Center. Let's go take a look. Come on in, we are open.
Hello there.
Good morning.
I've known Mr. Liggett since 1985.
Wow, wow.
He passed away in 2017.
Oh, okay.
Kohler Foundation. Kohler engines, Kohler
okay.
bathroom fixtures.
Gotcha.
Their art foundation preserves rural art.
I had no idea.
And are you from Kansas?
No.
Okay, well, they did preserve the Garden of Eden up at Lucas, Kansas, and they found out about this, so they came down and looked around. This was after MT passed away. They had heard of him, and anyway, they took it on as a project.
Cool.
And so they went through every piece and cataloged it, photographed it, and we have it in notebooks back here, fold binders. So if something happens, we know what it's supposed to look like
Right,
when
right.
we weld it back.
Mm-hmm.
If something is damaged. So anyway, the Kohler Foundation
Come on back.
then built, his old shop sat right here. His old shop was a work of art called Guarantee. That's what his old shop
Oh,
looked
cool.
like.
Wow. Wow, that's something.
And it was sitting about right here.
Very cool. This is a beautiful facility they built.
And so they built this facility, and there's a shop over here and there's a 1-bedroom apartment upstairs for artist in resident program.
Oh, cool.
And we just had one here that made some outdoor sculptures that are sitting out back.
And I missed him.
No, you can go around the corner.
I missed the artist. The artist is gone.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Last
okay.
week he finished up.
Cool.
So anyway, before they started it, they, Kohler, their project, they needed to find a nonprofit, local, that would take this all over. And it happens to be the Art Center over in Greensburg,
How far is Greensburg?
10 miles.
Oh, okay. I think that's the
To the
direction I'm
east.
heading, actually, yeah.
And so anyway, the Art Center board agreed to it, and they took it over. And before MT passed away, he formed a trust to handle all of his business and everything. And so the trust and the art center board are the kind of the umbrella to keep this open.
Very cool.
And we man it through, staff it through volunteers.
Isn't that how most of the work in the country gets done?
Well, it should be, yes.
And often is. I mean, I'm big on volunteering myself.
Well, everybody should do some kind of public service in their life.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Because that's how our constitutional republic is supposed to operate.
Supposed to, being the operative word there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, when they were done, when Kohler was finished, they just turned this all over to the art center. And now it's the art center's responsibility to keep it all up and going and continuing to do a lot of work, because as you see, there was a lot of stuff just laid out.
Oh, yeah.
Of his metal and everything else, and paint cans and you name it.
Now, did he have a different career as well, or?
Yes, he served in the military. When he got out of high school, he served in the Navy and then in the Air Force.
Oh, until 1973.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he moved back here in the early 80s, mid 80s, and started his
Very cool.
artwork. So, yes, he had a career in the military before, but he was highly educated. He had degrees in law and history and political science, and so you can see that is a reflection in his artwork too.
Well, I can't wait to take a look around. Just driving up to it is much more impressive than I expected it to be.
Well, you just take your time and look around.
Cool. Well, thank you so much.
If you have any questions,
I'll do that. I appreciate your help.
as you come on in to the main gallery here, you can see what his old shop looked like.
Oh, wow.
And he had, as you see, the reason for all those coffee cups up there is he had self-proclaimed world's largest coffee cup collection. And we've got tons of them back there because they were just hanging all over the walls of the shop.
So it may have made it as the world's largest coffee cup collection.
He just had them everywhere.
Oh, wow. Yeah, wow, that's something, for sure.
But there's no way we could have salvaged the old shop. You couldn't.
Not make it safe for anybody.
No, and get insurance.
Yeah.
So Kohler, when they built this, it turned out really nice.
I think it's a beautiful facility. I am quite surprised just by the town of Mullinville. It's much more attractive than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I've been traveling through Kansas, I've seen some towns that obviously are struggling a bit.
Oh, every one.
So let's learn a little more about M.T. Liggett. Raised in a 4-room claim shack with 7 kids. Tenant farmer for a father. Born in 1930. Yeah, that's a rough time. Right there in the Depression. If you don't know what the Depression is, go look it up. Did a bunch of military service, and then came back to Mullinville and got his start in art, so to speak. All right. I really like the way that they have set this visitor center up. I think they did an excellent job. Oh, look at this. This reminds me of my snow effigy of Mount Rushmore. Oh, and here's Salvation Army. Salvation Mountain, not Salvation Army. I used to be able to speak. Very, very cool. So this is Florence Diebel's rock garden, Lucas. Huh. Very cool. I don't know which way to go. I think I'll go this way. Wow, look at all those coffee cups. Look at that shop. Yeah, that definitely would not have been able to be insured. Geraldine Design Manifesto. Eating is a sin? Shocking symbols and strong language. Public displays of displeasure. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I think I would have liked this guy. All right, let's go start our tour outside. Okay, we're getting the behind the scenes tour of what the artist in residence has been working on. And you said he was here for how long?
Well, he was here for 2 weeks this time. 2 years ago, he was here for almost a month.
I like it.
He welded up a big bison, a male bison.
Excuse me.
It's over at the Art Center in Greensburg right now. But we're going to move it back over here, and he welded up a mama and a baby.
I love that.
MT owns a little piece of ground out here on the east edge of town. And I think the plan's to start setting a sculpture park out there. He just loved wildflowers. So when we got all this cleaned up of all the pieces of metal that are out there, I brought in dirt with my little tractor and got it all leveled off, and my wife planted wildflowers.
It's beautiful. All right, Kit, what do you say? Should we go look and pick out your favorite sculpture? What do you think? You want,
Yeah,
do you want to pick your favorite? All right, guys, I haven't even looked at much of anything in the way of the sculptures yet, but I can already tell you, take the detour. Come check this out. The visitor center, very, very cool. And we're going to walk down here and look at some of these metal sculptures that Mr. Liggett made. Come on, Kit. Leave it. Yeah, we're on this little dirt gravel road off the paved main street down there. I have to admit, I'm not really getting political significance of any of these, at least. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Or, I guess I don't mean political as much as I mean like social commentary. Ah, look at those little dogs over there. Well, at least they're apparently staying in their yard. I wonder if we're going to have a play session before we leave. Whoa, 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 whoa. I think he wanted to have a play session right here. You better go home. Go on home. Are you saying hi? Okay. All right, let's go find your mom and see if it's okay if they play. Here we are at the big well. We can see the big part. Here comes the well part. Just look at it. Wind's picking up a little. I think we're going to get some rain. And I might have really lucked out. And this is one reason for running the RV GPS even if I'm not using it. I happened to see a tent sign on the map in this little town. And then I almost immediately passed an RV park. And I just stopped and looked at Google Maps, and I did camping near me. And apparently that little tent sign that I saw may be a free state park on a lake, so we're going to go check that out. The John Dorset Beck family moved to Greensburg in 1888. They had 6 children. The 3 oldest girls died from scarlet fever within 5 days in April of 1892. In 1897, Mrs. Beck died, leaving Mr. Beck with 3 young children. Weaver Fleener was born in 1892 in Greensburg, the son of William Lewis and Margaret Ellen Fleener. Emily Beck was married to Weaver Fleener in 1915. They had 4 children. All right, so we're getting all the genealogy. Fleener's Inc. began in 1907, offering furniture and funeral services to the community. Cool sculpture here, guys. Weaver joined his father and brothers in the family business, graduating from Williams Institute of Embalming in Kansas City in 1917. This family business has passed through the 3rd generation and now in its 4th generation with J. Wynn and Wylan Fleener. Okay, I'm not quite sure what the whole point of this is yet. Bear with me. This sculpture serves as a memorial to the founders and pioneers of Kiowa County, past and present. The Fleener Beck families have been active members of the Kiowa County and Greensburg communities since their founding in the late 1880s. As longtime funeral home operators, they have served families in this community during a great time of need. They have embodied the pioneer spirit and through generations have worked hard to make this a thriving community. The imagery of the clouds references the ever-changing weather, both beautiful and stormy, that we experience on the prairie. The figures of a wagon, horses with riders, and farmer with plow show the lives of our ancestors and the heritage of our community. So that has absolutely nothing to do with the big well, which is fine. We're going to see if we can find out what the story is with the big well. Memorialized are the names of our friends, neighbors, and relatives that perished in the tornado of May 4th, 2007, Greensburg, Kansas. The entire town was leveled by a tornado. in 2007. So basically everything in this town is new, which is why it looks so prosperous. That would explain it. Meet Molly the Dalmatian. Along with her best friend Matt Dayton, traveled the world spreading love and healing after the 2075 EF5 tornado wiped out their hometown of Greensburg. Their mission was to be a beacon of light in a time of darkness for others. In addition to spreading joy to survivors and volunteers in disaster areas, Molly also helped Matt write 2 books, Molly in the Tornado and Molly in the Stars of Hope. Molly instilled hopefulness and was a great source of comfort to all, especially to the children she connected with. Molly and Matt's work with the nonprofit organization Stars of Hope and the New York Says Thank You Foundation will forever be remembered by the many lives they touched all over the USA, United Kingdom, and Japan. Molly lived from September 11th, 1999 until December of 2013, and Matt born January 18th, 1963, and he died February 28th, 2022. Well, there's a nice tribute. And look at this. Caster iron made a tornado. That's something. Got a little playground over there, picnic area. All right, let's go check out the big well. Let's see what we can see. Hopefully we can see something. So since it was completely destroyed, that really does explain why it looks so prosperous. The big well is one of the 8 wonders of Kansas. I didn't know there were 8 wonders in Kansas. Go around, Kit. I should have gotten the sunflower app. Look at me. Just weeks after the catastrophe, discussions began about rebuilding Green. You know, you really don't often get to reinvent from the ground up. And it looks like they've done a really nice job of it. Wow. It looks like a few buildings might have survived. Maybe? But certainly not many.
Oh, I don't even know.
It was started in, I don't want to jump in.
Okay, you won't be. But I'm going to get a little bit closer to you so I get enough audio.
Okay. It was built in 1887 and finished in 9 months.
And was it hand dug or?
Yes, it's all hand dug.
And as I recall, this is the deepest hand dug well?
Yes, it's the largest hand dug, largest one. It's 109 feet deep and 32 feet across.
Wow. And is it still being used at all, or?
No, just for irrigation.
Okay, cool. And then why build a museum on top of it?
For more attraction. And get more people to come into Greensburg.
Okay, that's cool. I gotta say, I am very impressed with everything that I've seen as I was driving through town so far. Were there any buildings that did actually survive intact?
Yes, the courthouse, and then there's an antique shop uptown, and then the silos.
Okay, cool.
That's the only 3 things that were really left.
But you know, it is, in some ways, devastation being horrible, of course, but the opportunity to reinvent is kind of amazing.
And it tells you all about that.
Okay, cool.
We do have a charge to go into the museum as well. It's $6 for seniors and $8 for
Okay.
18 and over. Yeah, 12 and over. The blue pan will tell you about the starting with Greensburg, and you go on to a red pan with the tornado, and then the green tan will tell you about Greentown.
What's Greentown?
It's how it has to be built today.
Oh, Greentown. Gotcha. And is there any? Can you see anything of the well or no?
Oh yeah, It's 84 stairs down to see the well, 36 stairs up to see the points where the tornado came through.
Oh, wow.
We have a 1,000-pound meteorite on the other side.
Cool. And when was the museum built?
It was finished in 2012.
Very cool. All right, guys. I think this one might be worth coughing up. What'd you say, $6 for seniors? And what's the price for those of us that weren't?
8.
I am, but for my audience, because I get a lot of younger viewers. So, cool. All right, let me get out the wallet and do the thing. So obviously, this is the gift shop. They got lots of shirts and so forth. And part of the deal here was to rebuild Green. So we'll see how many of the panels we actually want to read. Probably not that many. Oh, and I'm not going to be able to go on these stairs. Bummer. Wow. Town was sitting on the edge of the Ogala Aquifer. Huh. The world's largest hand-dug well. And it only took 6 months to build. Oh, look at the populations. 400 in 1885. A lot in 1887. And then back to 400 in 1900. Interesting. Oh, it only served as the water system until 1900. So apparently now it's just being used for irrigation. And I bet I'm not going to be able to see anything, maybe, without going down. Yeah, not really. But here's the deal, guys. See the steps? You can see through the steps? Yeah. That's one of the things that triggers my fear of heights. I literally get sick to my stomach trying to go up and down those. So they started reinventing as a tourist attraction in 1939. Devastated 95% of the town. EF5, 201 mile-an-hour winds. Wow. Just wow. And in the effort of rebuilding, they decided to go green, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, very cool. Okay, well that was pretty interesting. Here's our 8:45 p.m. update. Look at the beautiful sunset over there off in the distance. We're out for Kit's final evening walk, and then I'm gonna go in and take a shower. I ended up moving my location. That's a good looking RV right there. We were parked over here initially, but this great big tree started providing shade this afternoon, which under normal circumstances would have been awesome. But my batteries were low enough that I stopped getting any solar at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That wasn't really working for me. Okay, that's a piece of asphalt. Right there. Don't know why it's there. I got nothing. So, I've seen a few cars traveling around the lake while I've been here this afternoon. This is really pretty, guys. Just really, really pretty. And this guy's been down here parked for fishing on and off ever since I got here, actually. He left for a little while and came back. They had some kids. And I'm thinking, all right, I guess I'll go this way instead. Look at the view out through there. Can you see that? Just look at it. It's nice. So I thought, okay, we'll go walk this way this evening. So I let Kit out without bothering to put him on a leash. And then I looked over in this direction. Wait for it. And I'm like, oh, there's a car. Let's go a little further. There's a few more cars. Look at the pretty sky. We're gonna walk down this way anyway and take a look at the lake. And find out if these guys are fishing or catching. And I keep hearing some kind of bird, and I'm wondering if it might be a loon. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? How blessed am I? Come on, Kit. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. My goodness. I love my life. I am so lucky, and I appreciate you coming along for the ride.